All right, guys. U.S. History Unit 2, Lesson 1. Join me Mondays and Wednesdays. We're off today. Today's Monday, but Wednesdays I'll be there. I'll be live. We're transitioning from A push to regular. I put some videos up for Unit 1 as a recap of things that we missed. All right, so here's Unit 1. Unit 1 review, Part 1, review Part 2, review Part 3. I accidentally broke this one up in halves, my bad. And then our third review. We are in Unit 2. We have 10 lessons to go. I'm going to try and get them out of the way today, make them brief, make them short, just so we can catch up because we are a bit behind. All right, but it's okay. I'll work with you guys. Don't worry about that. So we begin with Lesson 1, All Aboard for the West. After Reconstruction, in 1869, we do get the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad, so people are able to move west faster. Terms for this unit, we have Advent, which is arrival or the coming, mundane, ordinary, not special, common, you're mundane, you're just ordinary. Subsidized, given assistance, help with money, and then terrain, the natural physical feature of an area and or land. Quote here by Horace Greeley, go west, young man, go west and grow up with the country. A short video here, all aboard. At the end of the Civil War, brought massive changes to society. Many young men returning from the war found that their homes and towns had been greatly altered. So, head west, right? The steam engine has allowed for this transportation revolution. In the late 1800s, we're entering the second industrial revolution, right? So we do have this push to head west. The California Gold Rush of 1849 further sparks this. And then there's another gold rush in 1899 in Alaska. So more people are heading westward. In the 1850s, the federal government instituted a policy of granting land to states to build railroads. Land grants allowed for railroads to be built through public lands. In addition to land grants, the government subsidized the railroads by giving them low interest loans. The amounts varied based on the ruggedness of the terrain. For land in the plains, the government was willing to loan 16,000 per mile. In the mountains, the loan was 48,000 per mile because of mountains terrain, so making it difficult. It's crazy. These government subsidies and loans secured the railroad companies ready to begin. So we start building these railroads, right? Railroad construction, or the first Continental Railroad. Let's see what we got here. Turn off this music. So click on the hand below to view where the railroads are located, where it started. It met in Promontory Point, Utah. And this is where we get our first transcontinental railroad. And that's it for that one. It was all done by hand. In the West, we had Asians, our primary immigrants that built the railroads heading east from the Pacific. And from the east, we had mainly European or Irish immigrants that built the railroads from the east heading west, right? Both railroads. The American Civil War saw this boom in railroads as railroads were needed, right, to carry materials, supplies, men, and armies. A reason why the North would end up winning this war because they had more railroads than the South. One of the reasons, right? Here we go. So standard gauge, the railroads weren't always built the same. Different companies had different widths until they made it, right? Here's how we will be doing this. Okay, running out of time here. My timer is going off. Railroads were a major contributor to the growth of the U.S., created thousands of jobs, millions of dollars in wealth. A lot of these railroad companies, for example, Vanderbilt's railroad company would become one of the largest railroad companies in the U.S., which is where we get, learn these names for class. We're going to need them, right? There's a series, The Men Who Built America, The Men Who Built America. A few names to remember here. We have Cornelius Vanderbilt, makes his money off railroads. John D. Rockefeller will make his money off oil. So give rise to Andrew Carnegie, will make his money off steel. And then we have J.P. Morgan, who is the son of a banker. So he'll actually end up buying Carnegie Steel and helping with the railroads. Crazy. And then he will fund Thomas Edison and electricity and his inventions later. So neat things that happened there. The Men Who Built America, great series. I'll show it to you guys in a bit. Time zones are created because of the railroads, because they're traveling across the country. Not everyone is up on the same time, right? 9 questions, forgive me. What are the ways in which land grants programs benefited the nation at large? Check all that apply. Not just one, but check all. Oops, take that off. Choose the best answer. What was the standard gauge? Right, where did the two railroads meet? What two immigrants spoke about that, etc., etc. Best of luck to you guys. Point 2 coming up shortly.